Now, kids, the things I'm going to say now, he told me not to tell you. So you can just shut your ears while I tell the teachers this information. And then later on, I'll tell you when you can listen again, okay? Kevin's a certified teacher, and he discovered that stories could be an effective teaching tool, and he soon became the first full-time high school storytelling teacher in the country. In 2001, he became a Fulbright scholar, and he was able to tell stories and conduct workshops internationally in both England and Japan, and where he developed cross-cultural curriculum, especially story-based work. He started was then the Youth Storytelling Special Interest Group for the National Storytelling Network, and is also co-founder of the Youth Celebration. Now, kids, you can listen again, okay? Now, what he told me to tell you is that he dances with polar bears, he really tells big yarns, and that he once told stories with the lollipop kid from The Wizard of Oz. So I welcome Kevin Cordi.
It's wonderful to be here and celebrate all the writers. Give yourselves a hand as storytellers, as writers. Great to be in this company. You know, I just came to the library and there was something that was strange in the library. I was there, and you usually can tell what's in the library. There's always some books, there's some people, and I was sitting in the library. I looked over and there it was. It was over at the far end by the circulation department. The librarian was working on the computer, and there it was. There was a chicken in the library. A chicken in the library. And it was sitting there, and the librarian looked over and said, "Excuse me, what do you want?" And that chicken stood up on its chicken legs and reached out its chicken wings and looked over and said, "Book, book, book, book." And she says, "Oh, you want a book, do you?" And she reached over and she grabbed the Harry Potter book and handed it to that chicken and said, "This'll take you a long time to read it. Anybody can read in the library." 1 hour later, that chicken was at the library. And it was standing at the far end. And the librarian looked over and said, "You couldn't have read all that." And that chicken looked over, stood on its chicken legs, took out its chicken wings, and put out its chicken neck, and said, "Brook, brook, 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 brook." Said, "There's no way you could have read all this and got all the books of the Harry Potter series," and said, "Try that for size." 2 hours later, there was that chicken in the library. He said, "Well, what do you want?" And you know, what did they want? All right, you're right. So I need you to stand up real quick and do the chicken with me. Stand up, here we go. You got those chicken legs. All right, move up. Take out those chicken wings. And say, "Whoop, whoop, 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 whoop." Very good. So the librarian got the entire World Book Encyclopedia A through Z. Got all of every writer she could find and handed it and said, "Try this for size." 7 hours later, there was that chicken at the end of the library. And what did it want? Oh, you gotta do the chicken one more time. Come on, stand up there. Stood on his chicken legs, took out its chicken wings, and said, "Whoop, whoop, 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 whoop." This time, when the librarian got there, there was the chicken And that chicken wanted? So he got 28 books of Warren Hansen's books and gave them. And all the other books they could find. Tons of books. But this time, and librarians are smart, that librarian followed that chicken. And that chicken with all those books come over to a bridge, and there was water. And the librarian, you know it, said, "Oh, not my books!" But the chicken was very careful and walked all those books over the bridge and handed it to a gigantic frog. And the chicken would hold up a book and say, and hold up another book, and even louder say, and that frog would say, "Read it, read it, read it, read it, read it." And that's the story of the chicken in the library.